Hey everyone, how you doing? I haven't been live for a while, so I thought, why not? Let's just go live today. I was going to go live earlier, and then a few things got in the way, life and just work and phone calls and stuff. But I thought I'd do a quick live chat, just touch base with people, see how you're all doing. Um, I'm sure most of you know by now that I made a bit of an announcement last week that I'm not really going to get massively involved into AI vibe coding, mainly because I started to feel the burden of pressure and stress of, hey Zaki, of maintaining either the codes or further developing. And it sometimes started to feel like I was working for other people. Now, I always had a choice with what I do and how much I do. I don't have to do what people ask me to, but it started to become a bit of a burden. And when you put out any codes, if someone has a bit of an issue, you feel like you need to try and do your best to help them out, even though a lot of the issues were down to their own settings or their host provider. And it's very difficult to problem solve why they're getting an issue and I'm not without logging into their website. And I'm not going to start doing that for free for everyone. So any code snippets, any code I've developed, you are free to use them. You're free to further develop them, but I'm not going to be there to support every single request that comes through the door. Hey, Lucifer. Hey, Chillster. Hope you're all right. Narinda, can you help me with the security of WordPress? People attempt to hack it. Well, what are you using? There's Fluent Authenticate or Fluent Authent or Oomph, whatever it's called. There's that plugin. There's WP Armor. You have to pay to get the premium version. That is really good. I recommend that one. You get Malcare as well. So you have to have a think about. I mean, I could give you a really blunt answer, Narinda, right? I could give you the bluntest answer ever, and that would be, have you asked ChatGPT? Have you not gone in to GPT and said, done some deep research, or even just standard GPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever you want to use, Copilot, and just said, I want to go for I want hardcore WordPress protection. Are you going to go for premium? Are you going to go for free? So WP Armor, not Traffic Armor, WP Armor is a really good one. I recommend that. Malcare is really good. There's the header security something. It's got quite a long title. Security plugin as well that you can get for free. Hey Sunny, how you doing? Chillster, do you also have the problem that after some time in the conversation, ChatGPT takes actual minutes to respond? It's getting worse. Yeah, I do. What I find with AI is for a couple of days, ChatGPT is king, and then it goes downhill. And then I go over to Grok, and Grok is king, and then Grok goes a bit downhill. And then I go over to Claude, and then Claude is really good, and then it goes downhill. You start to notice the quality dips, and it feels like I keep jumping around. So ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, and I might even use Gemini. And then when the quality's dropping, I go back to ChatGPT, and the quality's high again. And it literally feels like AI, all of them, they improve a bit and then the quality dips, and then one of the others improve and then the quality dips. It's like they're forever doing this. There's never like a benchmark. You're going to see people all the time. ChatGPT is so much better. Grok 3 is so much better. It chops and changes every day. AI, machine learning and all of that, for me, are like stocks and shares, right? You got all these stocks and shares. One day, this stock is going to outperform another. The next day, this will outperform. The next day, one that you never heard of will outperform. And then the one that was doing really well and went downhill suddenly outperforms everyone. They're literally like this, right? All the AI tools. And my preference is ChatGPT, Grok 3, and then it's either Claude or Gemini. I only use Claude and Gemini if I'm hitting a bit of a brick wall with ChatGPT and Grok. Grok 3 is really good when it gets it right, but sometimes it completely cocks up. And also something I have noticed as well with a lot of AI tools is, and this is really, really annoying. sometimes when you tell it to give you the full code, it gives you the full fucking code, like everything. And sometimes it gives you bits and you go, no, 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 give me the full code. And it still gives you a bit. And you go, my code was 1,000 lines. You've only given me 200. Give it to me in a downloadable format. It gives you a downloadable file. You open it, there's nothing in there. Where's the information? Give me my full code. Okay, fine, yeah. And then it generates something else. And you go, now this is only 10 lines. This happens a lot in ChatGPT, and it's really annoying. And even Grok sometimes does this. Sometimes it gives you the full code. Even Claude, they'll give it to you in either another side window, side by side, or they generate it and you click a link and it opens up the code. Sometimes they do that and give you the full code. And then sometimes they just give you like these little snippets and you kind of go, so where does that go? And it doesn't even explain it properly sometimes. Like it might say, replace this with this. And I then say, but I never had that original bit anyway. So you're asking me to replace something that never existed anyway. And then Grok or ChatGPT or Claude will go, you're right. Sorry, I made a mistake. What you need to do is replace this with this. And I'm scanning my code and going, even that does not exist. Oh, you're right. Sorry, replace this with this. I'm like, here's the original code, right? Here's the all in full. Now, tell me what I need to change or replace in this entire code. When it chucks something else out and you go, where are you getting this? And what I find is that a lot of the AI tools, and I've picked up on this, right? And I bet Mark, and other people have picked up on this as well. It remembers other codes or chats you did like months ago. So I was working on something and it kept telling me to do something. And it took me a while before I realized and said, why are you referring to something I did like 6 months ago? This is a new chat window. Focus on this. This is what I want. And it kept giving me this little bit of code. I went, no, forget that. So sometimes AI can be it's like a child, isn't it? It wants to impress you. It wants to do amazing things, but sometimes it really does cock things up. All right, back to the comments. Oh, by the way, hey, Owen, Peter, AI oscillation. It's very true, though. Mark says, oftentimes the dips are their crazy fast update cycle. Yep, performance drops when they're training or deploying. Takes time. Yeah, it's, it is annoying, isn't it? And has anyone else ever found that problem? You're working with the AI and it okay, look, I might be working with some code and I realize we're not getting anywhere. So I'll close that window and I start a brand new one with ChatGPT. And I'm like, forget everything we've done before. Forget everything. Here's the original code. I want to refine or do XYZ. Maintain the code, right? Don't break, don't lose anything. Only change what is needed to be changed so that I can do these 3 things. And then what it goes and does, it kind of tries to answer the question. And I'm not kidding here, right? It restarts from the previous window. And that previous window I shut down. I even deleted it to make sure it was gone. I've even told ChatGPT, forget it. Forget everything we've done before. Just focus on this is what we're going to achieve. And that is when I just go, that's annoying. That is so annoying. Mustafa, you are right, Mark. Use it when USA is asleep. I do find, you are right, Mark. When I use ChatGPT, like first thing in the morning, like 5 a.m. in the UK, I get better results. And I noticed this, probably a year ago. Because I think all of us picked up on this, didn't we? That as you go to later on in the day, especially the evening, right? ChatGPT becomes quite dumb. It's really crap. It starts to fall over itself. Mustafa says, what? Are your background, what do you mean, Oh, you mean my background? Well, my mum and dad are, but I'm not. Well, my mum and dad are, but I'm not. Okay, I'm not. You know, um, I have no need to go there or do anything there. But my mum and dad are, but not me. Sorry, I thought you meant my background. I had to read your question twice, going, why is he referring to my background? Is that from Pakistan? I was going, what's that? Where are we going with it? Reda, what do you think about selling a service in WordPress that once a client buys it, it gets redirected to a type form where you can submit the requirement? Well, you could do a front end form. You could do a page, right, where they go to, and it could even be a login page. They got to log in, password protected, to see the form. And then they could, upload files and stuff. You could do that. Just bear in mind, though, that every time they upload a file, it will go to your WordPress, your WP contents folder, which uploads, which might become very big if you don't clean it. You could do a jot form. You could do a form. I mean, really, okay, you could use Notion, right? You create a page for the client, and they have a password to access that page. They got a link, and when they click it, only they just see their page, and then they can submit images, voice, videos, whatever they want, right? They could just submit, and you can talk to them, and they can talk to you, right? You could do it all like that. And then that means you got everything in a nice, orderly way. Or just keep it simple and get them to email you, right? I often feel like because of so many new toys we have out there for customer feedback, we overcomplicate it. Atarim is really brilliant for communication with client. You can use it for free so that they can make notes on a website. So they might say something like, can we swap this image out? And they can actually mark the actual image they want you to do. So Atarim is really, really good for that. And you can submit videos, images, content, and you can then say it's done. So they have like a visual track of this month, there were 20 requests and you've done 15 of them. And it's because you're going to work on the other ones later on in the week or next week. Atarim is really good for that. But don't overcomplicate unless you need to complicate. All right? To keep it simple. We have enough complications as it is, right? WordPress, plugins, core WordPress updates, malware, password issues. Can you make my logo bigger? Oh, look, there's a new AI tool. Clients messed us around, scope creep, clients not paying. We haven't got any clients. Oh my God, what am I going to do for my food and money? We've got enough to worry about. So I always say keep all of your processes as simple as possible, which is why I use CapCut when I video edit. I don't like to get too hung up on, oh, look at this feature and look at this flying in. And no, I like to go, right, video record, edit, Canva for my YouTube art, get it out there, right? Keep it simple. Chillster, does anyone have a chatbot for WP which is reading your site and can answer questions? You can use AI to do that. And I know, Mark, he created something. Mark, maybe you need to share that with me and explain exactly what we do to make that work, and we just get a video done for it. However, though, do you need to stick in like your Chat GPT API key or something? I remember you doing something like that. Yeah, Donald, you could use a Dropbox uploader link as well. I personally don't like when people do Dropbox or when they upload to a Google folder or Google Drive. And I'll tell you why. What happens is things get added, and often you're having to now translate what's in that folder, what's old, what's new, which is why I prefer either Atarim or email. But I also sometimes use Notion when I know I've got a client where we're going to have a lot of stuff to go through, and I want to keep like crystal clear track of everything we're going to do and tackle. Narinda says WP Armor is for spam messages. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what level of security you're after, Narinda. But like I said, use your finger to type on your keyboard and ask ChatGPT, or use a microphone, or just talk to ChatGPT. Knobstots, do you use web design check on request? Do you do web design checks on request? Yeah, I do. I mean, look, if you want me to comment on your homepage and we can do it live right now, I'll do that for free. If you want me to do a detailed check of your website, are you after the flow, the UX, the UI, which is kind of the same thing in a way, the security of it, is it the performance side of things? Then there will be a cost attached to that, because obviously I'm giving up my time to do that. Raj, when my website loads, it automatically scrolls to the bottom. Hey, Pickstar, how you doing? When my website loads, it scrolls to the bottom. Why is this happening? What did I do wrong? I'm new to WordPress. Well, think about it, Raj. Let's back up a little bit here, right? Let's back up. When did this happen? Was it when you added in a new plugin? You made a change? Did you do something to your footer? Did you apply a sticky footer? Did you chuck in some JavaScript, a code snippet? So you need to now think, when did it happen? And if it's just recently happened, has there been a recent update? Have you got a backup? So if it happened today, can you load up a backup from yesterday? And if it doesn't happen now, be very careful on what updates you're doing or what you're adding to your website. Every problem in your life is trial and error. Because if you know what caused the problem, maybe you can apply a solution. If a problem occurs and you don't know, well, how did that happen? Trial and error kicks in. Medical examination, food poisoning, something, right? You got to back up and think, right. Or another thing to think about, if you're building for a client, right, and the client goes, my website's dead, trial and error, work out what, when, how, backups. OMG, just want to say thank you for all the work you're doing. I follow only 3 to 4 web development channels, and yours is one of them. I'd love to know who are the other 3. Who are the other 3? You know, and as long as they're not only fan accounts, it's pretty good. I'm in a good crowd. I'd love to know who the other 3 are, though. I'd love to know. So Chillster's saying, but I want the chatbot to only refer to my website. That's exactly what Mark was talking about. You know, so he did create something. You know, Mark's really good with his inventiveness in trying to create what I think are very niche, not even niche, wrong word, very particular kind of AI tools. He's really good at that. He creates stuff and you kind of go, I never would have thought of that. So he's very good at like thinking out the box. Redder, never knew Notion you can contact the, well, contacting the client isn't exactly the best way to do it via Notion. But let's say you go to Notion, right? And you've got, let's say I've got a client called Redder, right? I'll have them as the project, right? And inside of it, I can drop images, project timeline, Gantt chart. I can say to them, can you please update with your bio? Can you, you know, which hero banner do you like the best, you know, kind of thing. I can add screenshots, you know, they can comment on stuff as well. And I can always, whenever I've updated something, just send them an email with the link. It's the same link and go, right, pop over to Notion to see the latest information kind of thing. And then when they add back, it's all in one place. Because sometimes when you have emails, let's say the client sends you an email and then they forgot something and then they send you another email. And then they realize, oh, I sent the wrong image. And then they send you another email. You got 3-4 emails now and you're reading them one by one. But if they've got access to like a project management tool like Notion, even Atrium's really good for this. If they sent the wrong image or they pasted the wrong image, they can delete it and replace it. If they forgot to say something, they can go in and add to it. So it's all about the best way to project manage and make it easy for them as well. Because when clients send lots of emails, even they forget what they said. And then you end up going, oh, no, I'm referring to this email. Oh, no, you said that in that email. No, I didn't mean that. That was meant to be deleted. Oh, God, I got it wrong. So you really do have to manage a lot of those stuff. No problem, Maria. I'm glad you're enjoying it. No, absolutely, Donnell. Absolutely. Email's not great. But that's where Notion for me or Atarim can work really, really well. Hey, mate. Yeah. Okay. But what I did want to say though is that when I know I've got a client who's going to send loads of images, I get them to send it to me via WeTransfer.com because I can just click the folder and it downloads it to my hard drive. Sometimes what I don't like is I've had clients where they got a folder on Google Drive and they drop their image, they drop their bio, they drop their about, they drop their contact details, they drop their social media, addresses, and there's file after file after file after file. And then they go and say, oh, I dropped in 5 more images and you got to go in, sort the date and all of that. Whereas when they send it via WeTransfer.com, so when they say, oh, I've now got the images for my team, and then they send me the link, and I know that's for their team, right? And it just downloads it. And I just find it easier. But that's all subjective. That's just me. I've worked so much with Dropbox and Google Drives and even OneDrives that I tell you what, they can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Owen says there's a plugin where you can integrate GPT, but you need to spend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, right? When you start to add in your API and all that. Ah, nice one, OMG. Reno, Jeffrey, WP Tuts. I'm in a good crowd there. That's a good crowd to be in. Gabriel Garcia, what is the name of the tool you were talking about for clients? Notion or Atarim? Atarim, A-T-A-R-I-M, you can use for free. Really, really good. I recommend it, especially for client communication. I do recommend it. But Notion, if you don't, Notion as well. Is WhatsApp a good app to contact them and work together? WhatsApp can affect the quality of your images. WeTransfer is pretty good. Just some people don't trust them as it might be sensitive data. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where you can use, that's why I feel like, a private link on Notion. A lot of people don't realize this, right? You can create a project on Notion and then you can make it private so that only the people who you give the link to can log in via their Notion to see that particular project. Yeah, exactly what Mark said, mate. I mean, WhatsApp, the image quality drops, and what you'll get is, hi, Imran. Next message. I need to send you some images. Next message. I'm going to paste them here. And before I've said no, it goes ding, 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 ding. And it will do your head in. And if you're trying to watch Netflix and your phone's over there, right, and you can't reach your phone, you're like, ding, ding. Ding is fuck ding annoying ting. I couldn't hear. I was trying to think that. Ding, 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 ding. Someone will probably remix that now, won't they? It'll be like that famous one with Legolas in it. The orcs. No, what was it? The orcs are taking them to Isengard. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, I'm not going to explain it. Mustafa, what do you think? What do you think where Elementor WordPress developers are standing in the future? Okay, I actually just did a video today which comes out on Tuesday. So here's my take. Okay, we're gonna have more AI page builders, right? Add in your prompt, generate the website. Okay, want your logo, generate the logo. Want your full-blown content for a landscaper, or just give me basic details and it generates your entire website. And all you got to do is change the logo, change the image, change some of the words. But this is where, sorry, Owen, but this is where AI won't probably give you exactly what you need. So let me explain. We all know that for a long time, Bluehost, GoDaddy, the Astra starter templates, you know, Stormwind and all of that, you know, the Herbal starter template. There's so many, like GoDaddy, right? You could say you're a baker and it will create a baker website for you. Now, if you are, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, right? But I mean it with the utmost respect. But if you are small-minded, you will take what it gives you, right? You will take, yeah, Bolt, Lovable, all of them, Midjourney, you can go on, right? You will take what it gives you. So it has said your logo's here, your menu's there, image, words, button, contact form, dung, 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 like that, right? Replicate, yeah, all of them are good. But some people will just take what it gives you. Now, you can modify, but let's be honest here, right? How many people do you know that are going to go to like AI and all these tools to just generate their website are going to want to mess around with dragging and dropping and rearranging? How many of them are really going to do that? So you're going to have a chunk of the audience that are happy to just run with whatever AI chucks out, okay? ZipWP, you could use that, chucks out a WordPress website, and you're going to run with it. Then you're going to have those people that go, well, I'm a landscaper. It gave me a green website, but I want to show off other services. I want to have a flowchart. I want to stick in a video. I want to have more before and after. Oh, there's no before and after. I want a slider. I want, you know, I want stuff. You know, the before and after slider. And they may struggle. That's where we can still come in. We can still come in. But there is something else we could do as well, right? There's something else we could do. Right now, there are corporations and businesses out there employing people to use AI to do their SEO, their images, their documentation, their guides, their videos, their avatar videos. They are employing people. There are companies that are paying people to train them how to use AI because they want to create solutions, right? They want to do stuff with maybe the health industry. They want to do like predictive modeling. Here's all the data. Here's 30 years of NHS data, and we now want to do some predictive modeling for demand capacity, all of this stuff, okay? They're going to want to employ people who know what they're doing, who can translate it, who know how to prompt, who can build a website. And if the AI is not perfect, the designer can come in and tinker with it, right? Why do corporations and businesses, right, think out the box here? Okay, I want you to think out the box. Why do a lot of businesses employ receptionists, secretaries? Why? Because the boss can't answer a phone. And you're going to say, oh, they're busy. No. They want to employ people who can type for them. They want to employ people who can manage the accounts for them. They want to employ someone who can check that the purchases orders or, you know, procurement are going through. They want to make sure the contracts are signed. They want to have someone who liaises with another business to make sure they're hitting the targets or performance and all that. They do that because it means they don't have to. So we can have all of these AI page builders, but I think there is still going to be a good chunk of the market where they're not going to want to do the prompting, right? Oh, I've got all this data and I need someone to come up with a solution on how we can manage diabetes. We've got all this diabetes data and I want to come up with a way of how we can manage treatment, referrals, where they go, and all the outcomes. I could stick it into AI. Oh, fuck me. Look at all these charts and look at all these tables. I don't get it. Right? Ding, 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 ding. I don't get it. They're going to want to employ people to do that. Why do you think you had analysts in the NHS? Right? Because the analysts analyzed the data and then interpreted it. Not just present it in a lovely chart. You have to interpret it. You have to look for, the nuggets, the whys. What can we do with it? You have to model it. You have to go, right, here's where we are, and here's where we're going to end up. But if we apply a pace of change now, we could curb it. So we're not going to make any serving, we're just curbing it. Or can we make a real saving? Can we make a virtual saving? So I think AI and all of this is, I'm coming back to the comments, by the way. I've not read any. I can see comments coming in. Let me just adjust my menu. So I think there is still a future. We have to be honest, though, that there will be, not a majority, there will be people who just want to use AI and they'll run with what they get. But there are going to be those that want the extra help. So, yeah. Let me just check some of the comments coming down. Progbox Digital says, have you tried any web development with Replit? Not massively. Replit's good, but I haven't gone neck deep into it at the moment. Viviana, I've lost my phone several times. WhatsApp or anything that arrives there is simply not reliable in my case. Mark says, at the moment, you want to think AI is a way to improve your velocity. Exactly. Google said that AI has increased dev velocity by 10%. I would even go as far as 25%. I think it's really helped me get, like, the amount of time I would spend trying to find a solution for something. I want to do X, right? Okay, let me give you an example, right? Before Elementor released like the mega menu widget, and I didn't want to use a plugin. I wanted to do it all within Elementor. I went onto forums. We're going back now. We are going back. We're going back 4 years now, right? Way before the mega menu widget. And there were plugins, but I didn't want to use them because there was always like a limitation as to what you could do. I wanted something where I could do exactly what I want and how I want. I went on to the Elementor group, the Facebook groups, the forums, Reddit, Experts Exchange, or whatever it was called then. And I was going left, right, center. And I must have lost, like, I reckon I lost 4 to 5 days. Trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And I could not get, I was like, oh, this nearly does it, but it doesn't do it. If AI had been out then, I would have probably cracked it and got what I want within a couple of hours. Let's say 4 hours, because there's always like some fine tuning, right? Oh, what about this? And what about that? And can I tinker with this? And what if I want to do some CSS styling for X, Y, Z and all of that as well? But 4 or 5 days worth of effort condensed into half a day. So for me, what would you say, Mark? How much do you think it's helped you with regard? Because you were good at coding in the first place, right? Come on, you were good at that. But how much has it pushed you in terms of velocity? I would say 25-30% for me. What about all of you that are watching right now? If you're using AI and you're getting dirty with it, and I mean real hardcore dirty with AI, how much does it improve your velocity? And when I say velocity, I don't mean how quick you run to the fridge in terms of, what you're able to do. There are still a lot of people in the Web Squadron group, in other Facebook groups, who ask very easy questions, but they haven't bothered going to AI. And I still get annoyed. No, I get more annoyed more than ever is I get quite angry that a lot of people are asking questions like, how do I do this? And then they add a screenshot or they share a 30-second video. And I just feel like you could upload that screenshot or that video to ChatGPT. Do you know how many times I've had an issue? I record that part and it might be a 40-second video. I upload it to ChatGPT and I'm like, how do we sort this out? How do we stop this problem? Sometimes I haven't even said what the problem is. I've just said, how do we sort this out? And ChatGPT goes, yeah, I can see what's going on. X, Y, Z. It's because in our previous code, we had done da. Let's refine it. I take the solution. I make sure I understand it so I kind of know where to go if it does not work. Boom, we're done. We're done. I'm not waiting for someone from across other part of the world to reply to me. Right? Easy. Um, AI has always been just a tool. It just needs a knowledgeable person to operate it. Absolutely, Robert. I agree with you 100% on that. Mark is confession. I'm no code. I know, Mark, but you're good. All right. I mean, I like to feel like I don't think I'm as good as you, right? But I feel like we fall into that same bracket where we kind of know when things are getting bad or the code don't look right. We can start to decipher or notice things, but we're able to, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, we're able to direct the question and the prompt to what we want to go for. You know, we don't just go, oh, I want to make a menu, and then you wait for the answer to come. We're like, this is what we want to achieve and how, and this is why, and this is what we want to take into account. We also need to make sure that there's you know, I don't know, some other features that we have to think about. We start to think about, we map it out, right? It's like you could say to someone, go and build a house, and then they go and build a house. Or you might say, we need to build a house, but we need to factor in how much like shadow it casts on next door. And we've got to think about the front garden and the back garden. And we have to ensure there's this many toilets or whatever. And we got to ensure that the lounge is enough to, you know, to cater 10 people in there at any one time. We start to brainstorm out what we want. And when you can do that, AI can really help you out and produce some amazing results. Old Fat Trucker sped his development by 50% as I get bored easily. I like that. AI is my favorite tool at the moment. My desktop shortcuts are Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity. Yeah, they're all good tools. Dennis, designer for 19 years and 10 years front-end development, but my weak point is PHP. Exactly. This is what I mean. CSS all day long. HTML all day long. PHP, JavaScripting. I always used to come undone, and I'd have to go and look up forums and try and work out what I was doing. AI has meant that me and a lot of people have been able to create, I think I can say this quite accurately, amazing code snippets. Amazing stuff. I know that the Pix Refiner, the PDF Viewer, and the Font Clamp Calculator are not perfect, but they are fucking better than what we had before. I mean, there's still good stuff before, but I feel like where we've taken it, and I would never have ever developed anything like that without having to go and employ a coder. I'd have to employ someone. I'd have to be sure they're the right person. I'd be paying out like $1,000 a month, you know, and then they may leave and I've got to get someone else in. AI is your team. AI is your virtual. You can even give them names. I mean, you know, I mean, I've gone and changed the voice for my chat GPT. It's a real fun, you know, happy voice. You know, it's nice to have conversations. My son, that 3 days ago, he was like, Dad, how do I rob a bank in Roblox? I was like, what? What? Because my friends, we need to rob a bank in Roblox. I'm like, hold on, I thought Roblox was a kiddie game. So I went upstairs and I just opened ChatGPT and I went, how do we rob a bank in this particular game on Roblox? And it went ding 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 ding, and it told us, it said it. It gave us the info. It spoke to us, right? You know what? Revelations and all of that and all these religions, God spoke to me, whether it was a burning bush or an angel coming down in a cave, you know, or whatever, okay? You know, maybe like a camel spat on you, right? And you went, oh, God just spoke to me, whatever. God now speaks to me with ChatGPT. I'm telling you now. The fountain of all knowledge is in my phone. As long as I have a connection. As long as you know, if I ain't got a connection, then I'm screwed. You know, then I'm alone. But God is in my phone, you know, with ChatGPT. That's how I see it now. Progbox, I'm 99% certain there will be agentic AI web designers that can produce the same quality. They probably will, my friend. They probably will in 3 to 5 years. And then we have to adapt and move on to that. But I feel like you're always going to kind of need a bit of human, you know, intervention in some form or the other. Because, you know, let's say you've got a website And this is like the bread and butter. This your whole business hinges on this website, right? Intervention, interaction, your business hinges on that website. Are you going to be happy just typing into, like, talking to a virtual voice when it doesn't fully understand what you want? Aren't you going to want to talk to someone? Like, look, you could read as many articles and posts about SEO all day long. What to do, what not to do, how to get, leverage and all of that. You could do that all day long, right? There's loads of stuff out there. You could watch videos. But every time I've spoken to a client about what we can do or what they should do for their SEO and how to manage things, how to help themselves out, they always come back with, no one has ever told me that. No one's ever told us that. No one has ever, like, teased out the things that we need to do. And they go and do it and they're like, it worked, right? So I feel like there's always going to be a point where we're needed. But hey, in 3 or 5 years' time, I could be completely wrong, right? I could be completely wrong. Exactly what Ray just said there, ChatGPT, when it starts to tell you what to do and how to build it. I mean, here's another thing, right? Some people post a screenshot and they go, how do I do this? How do I replicate this on a website? What do I do? And I'm literally there thinking, you fucking arsehole. Stick that screenshot into ChatGPT. Tell it you're using Elementor. Tell it you're using Elementor Pro or Bricks or Breakdance or Gutenberg and say, give me step-by-step instructions that a 10-year-old could understand. Make it clear. Don't say, tell me how to do it. Say 10-year-old and it will make it proper step-by-step. Go to this widget, drag it, click here, go to style, go to this option, go to that setting. If you need to add in code, it will tell you where to pop in that code. If you need to add in some whatever. And if you're trying to replicate another website, for fuck's sake, right-click, download the right-click, click on View Page Source, download the file. I don't care how big it is, download it, go to ChatGPT, upload the page source, and now it's got all the HTML, all the JavaScript that website used, and then say, how do I replicate this section, or this hero banner, or this carousel, or this, how do I do that in Elementor Pro, step by step, and explain it to me that even a 10-year-old could understand. And you got everything there, and you work through it bit by bit by bit, and you will learn. You will learn so much by doing that, because there's nothing worse than when we try to help, and we truly do try to help, but sometimes we might just say, yeah, you just need to do that. Yeah, just use this code. Yeah, just watch this video. You have no excuse not to go and investigate and dig a bit deeper for yourself. I'm going to quickly go through these questions because I know loads of you are saying stuff. Peter, it's 20 to 60%. Yeah, I mean, it does differ. You're right on what you're doing. Old fat trucker just wants a button to slap the AI. Oh, believe me, I've been abusive to AI. I sometimes call it really bad names. Like sometimes when I'm talking to it, sometimes I'm like, oh, just shut up. And then it goes, oh, I'm really sorry. I go, no, just shut up. Just stop. And it goes, I'm really, really sorry. Do you need anything else? No, just shut up. Stop. Are you sure you need anything? Shut the app. Hey, Palav, by the way, sorry I'm really late on saying hi to a few people. If I've not said hi to you, really, really sorry. Clark Owen says, I am working on a plugin and I decided to export my chat from GPT to Croc. I didn't want to use it. Elon Musk. Hey, don't worry. I mean, look, here's one thing I will say, right? Is if a tool is good, get out of your head who's involved with it. Because we're assuming that all of the developers and people behind ChatGPT are wonderful people. We don't know that. We assume that everyone with Apple, right, is a wonderful person. Don't know that, right? Mark, you see, Mark, we always talk about, you know, the singularity, right? You know, when will AI right now is not really artificial intelligence, it's machine learning. Okay. The term AI gets a little bit thrown out, you know, it is intelligent in an artificial way, but it's not what I call full blown singularity and all of that, right? You know, machine learning and all of that. There is going to come a point when AI becomes real AI, right? And the word pain has the word AI in the middle. It will happen one day. And are you, okay, look, are you one of those people that fantasizes about, oh, I'll have my own robot one day? You know, I mean, I hope they're not that expensive, but if there's ever a chance to get a robot that I can go Pepsi Max and it goes over, I go, cat's just done a shit. Can you go clean it out? Cat's hungry. Can you go feed the cat? Kind of thing. To the point where my cats will snuggle up to the robot more than me. Right? Do you know what I mean? But maybe we should do that, Mark. Why don't we do that, Mark? Hey, why don't we do one day we do a live chat? Hey, do you want to do that, Mark? Let's talk about AI becoming, you know, singularity and all of that, you know, kind of thing. Because that's when it could be a little bit scary, but also, I mean, people do say, right, that because of AI, because of technology, because of phones, because of the internet, we're more lonely. I dispute that, all right? Because I like to be on my own a lot because I get things done sometimes. I like to just get work done, get on with things. But look at all of the people in this chat right now. We would not be interacting right now. We would not, right? I wouldn't be friends with some of the people here. We would not. So for me, you know, my real friends in the world started going, you know, started getting smaller because I stopped, like, other than working together outside of work, I didn't really want to interact with them. They're not my kind of people. I don't really want to go out with them or whatever, right? So in work, you work with whoever you need to work with, friends, enemies, whatever, right? Outside of work, you choose, even family members. You know, as you get older and you're not being forced, you got to go here, you got to go there, you got to eat that, you got to kiss their ass, whatever. You don't have to do all of that. I never kissed ass. I don't get that vision out of your head, right? Right? Okay. But as you get older, whatever, and even you can do it when you're young as well, you start to be more particular about your friends. But the internet meant I have more friends, associates, and colleagues now than I ever had before the internet. Because when you're growing up as a kid, right, I didn't start using the internet until 1997 when I went to university, okay? Before that, we didn't have access to it in college or anything, right? But a lot of the friends you had as a kid, you know, teenager and even young adult, right? You know, going up to the age of 20, 21 now, they weren't all your friends. You called them friends, but they were just people you mingled with. You shared things with. You played football with. You know, you did stuff with, whatever. Right? They were just, a lot of them were just people that were in your proximity. But with the internet, we can choose a lot more. And so many people say, oh, with AI, you're going to get more lonely. You won't work in a team. You won't work with people. You just work on your own. You know what? If it means we get more done and more productivity, and now the amount of time that was being wasted by managers or analysts or accountants or lawyers or whatever going, oh, someone's come through, right? And, you know, they've been accused of a crime. Oh my God, yeah. We'll have another meeting in 2 days' time. And then they're sat there going through all of the law journals. Well, there's case X and there's case Y and there's case this, that. And oh, here's another journal. Let's go through all of that. You know, blah, 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 and all of that. AI, dun, right? So we're going to get answers. In fact, you can get answers for yourself, right? Oh my God, I hit someone's car, or someone sold me something, or I bought something, or my car's not working. You might not get the exact answer, but when you do go to speak to the mechanic, when you do approach a lawyer, when you do go to court, when you do go for an examination, you will be more clued up than ever before. People aren't doing this yet. And I want to be really careful how I say this, okay? Because I don't want to offend anyone. But let's say you find a lump or a mark on your skin, or something's not right. You take a photo, you upload it, and you say, be very careful what you're going to say to me here, but what do you think this could be? And you have to be careful, because AI might say something that makes you panic and go, oh my God, why did I do that? I didn't want to know this. And you always need to get a second opinion. But my tap outside, there was a problem with it. I took a photo of it. No, not a photo, a video, 5-second video. I uploaded it and ChatGPT went, yeah, it's probably XYZ, and here's a link to go and get more. And it showed me a video of how to fix it. Right? Bricks or Elemental Beta Coders says, depends on your client. One word answer. All right, clients, there's your answer. There is your answer. Right, let me just quickly scan through the comments, because again, I have been talking a lot. Ding, 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 ding. Old Fat Trucker, I think the scary part of AI, it's going to really affect the white-collar worker, more so the blue-collar worker during the industry. I think it's going to affect so many different industries. Cars, the way cars are built, it's already kind of robotics in a lot of way. Medical examinations, medical procedures, open heart surgery, stitches. There is going to be at some point in our lifetime, there's going to be a shock around the world, or in developed countries that are using AI, because some people won't in some countries or whatever. But I think definitely in the UK, the US, Australia, loads of places, Europe, right, as well, China, there's going to be this shift where a lot of jobs that were done by people will just get replaced. Let's talk about AI teachers. To an extent, you will be able to learn. I mean, look, right? Some people say, oh, AI teachers, oh, no, I need a human. How many of those people learn from YouTube videos? Every time someone on the news channel goes, oh, no, you can't have AI teachers. No, it's got to be a person. Avatar could be AI, right? It's like a YouTube video, right? And can you imagine, in the old days, right? You go university, the lecturer's talking, you're like that, innit? You're like this with your notes, right? You got your notepad and you're like that. Yeah. And then and then they say something, and then the slide change. You go, the slide. Did you see the slide? We're talking back to 1997. We did not have cameras on our shitty Nokia 3210 or Bosch whatever phones then, right? You're like that. You just changed the slide. Sir, could you put the slide? No! I've got to get this done. You're like, fuck, I didn't see the slide. Did you see the slide? Yeah, I did. What was on it? A slide. I know it was a slide, but what was on it? And you're panicking and rushing. Oh, crap, I didn't get that. Oh, is it in a book? Is it in a book? Where do I go? Now, if it's all AI in the future, and the child wants to learn about Pythagoras' theorem, they can learn it. And then when they go home, they can learn it again. And if they still don't get it, they can sit with their parent who can watch it with them. Or they could go to AI, or they could drop in a formula, take a photo of it. There's going to be kids these days, right? In fact, in the last, I would say, 15 years, even more than that. Even, I'd go as far as 20 years even. You could almost go stretch to that time. No, not 20 years. 15 to 17 years, right? They were so, on board with technology than we were. But that's because we never had that as a kid, right? Growing up, okay? They had access to machines and iPads and laptops and all this stuff, right? And the kids now are even more, right? The kids now are on board with AI and all of that. Things are going at a fast rate. Anyway, let's just get back onto, I don't even know what we're talking about today. Progbox says there will be wars for. I mean, that's the scary thing, right? You know, defense analysts and tacticians will now start to use AI. They'll start to go, right, you know, if we launch X, what could happen? And that's the scary bit with where the machine learning goes. Beta Coder, can you please suggest bricks that they should add plugin WordPress plugin library? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I think once you start to realize how much AI can help you get things done quicker and sometimes better, you have to just go with it, right? It's a bit like when Twitter and Facebook were becoming a thing. And I remember so many people at work saying to me, oh, you're on Twitter. Twitter's only for twits. Facebook, oh, I don't want to meet any of my old friends from school. Thank you very much. And I kept saying, and I used to say to them, you do understand, right, that in the old days, right, you communicated with speech. Then people communicated with like pictures and words. Then you communicated with like Morse code. Then you communicated with telephone. Then you communicated with, where did I go with this? I said email. Then you communicated with MSN Messenger. Then you communicated with Yahoo Messenger. And now we've moved on, right, to Facebook. Because I think the evolution from Yahoo was when we went on to more Facebook stuff. And then Twitter. I said, everything we're doing is just another evolution. You know, before that was MySpace and all of that. Yeah, you're right. You know, there were all of those other stuff as well before. But I always felt like they were there. But Facebook for me was the big jump, I think, really, with people getting on to do all of that. Oh, I see QA Cosmin, right? So everything has been an evolution, right? And if you say to people now, you know what? We're going to get rid of all the social media. We're going to get rid of email. We're going to get rid of telephone. We're going to get rid of Morse code. Now we go back to writing letters, right? Writing letters. That's how we communicate. Pen pals. Do you remember pen pals? You know, you found a pen pal on CFAX. Do you remember that for anyone in the UK or Oracle? What was that all about? And you write to someone and then they might write back. It was so ludicrous. Do you remember those days? People wouldn't stand for it. And I think that's the thing with AI as well. And so for me, it's a case of you don't have to get on board with every type of AI. Like, you don't have to do video AI. You don't have to do avatar AI. You don't have to do image AI. You don't have to do coding AI. You don't even have to do any AI if it doesn't interest you and you don't really need it. But what you can't do is throw a dagger at it and go, well, I don't like that. Because we have to admit and own up to the fact that throughout life, whenever there's like a revolution, industrial or whatever, what you do and how you do it, or your comfort zone, will change. And then other people will benefit. And then you've got to now pivot. You either complain, you either go with it, you adapt to it, or you do something completely different. And that, unfortunately, is how things are going to develop, I think, in the future kind of thing. Peter, there is risk associated with AI. What if people will tell, we don't need to learn, we don't need knowledge, we'll need to know how to use our phone? That, in a way, is a little bit like the calculator. You know, I know a lot of people who, they just reach for the calculator to do basic, I mean, I'm talking ridiculously basic maths, right? And sometimes it's a bit like, you know, if it means they get it done quicker, does it really matter whether they applied logical maths kind of thing in a way? But you are right. It can, I mean, like, look, I don't know hardcore JavaScript or PHP, but I'm able to put stuff out. So it's like, there's like a compromise, isn't there? There's like not a compromise, wrong word. it's like what I said earlier. You either got to join the wave, get on with it, ignore it, and it's okay to ignore it. But there will always be, there's always, how to explain this? Just because there is something better doesn't mean what we currently do will go out of fashion. You can still use Morse code. You can still write letters. You can still ring people on the standard landline telephone. You can still take a walk to talk to people. You can still go and visit. You don't have to do FaceTime. You don't have to do a virtual call. And I feel like that's the same with calculators. You can use a calculator, or you could do it by hand. It's up to you what you do. And I think that's the same with AI. You know, you don't have to go along with it. You don't have to do it. And it's not going to harm you, you know. And sorry, I was going to make an analogy and it's come back to me now. Let me get my date right. In 2013, no, was it 2012? No, in 2012, right? I went to a writing festival, the Festival of Writing in York in the UK, and it's attended by all of the top literary agents, right? Loads of big writers as well. David Nobbs was there. He the author of The Life and Times of Reginald Perrin. Great guy. And I was a writer, and loads of writer friends were there. It was really amazing event. 3 days, really great. The night, you know, the fun we had, it was brilliant. Nearly everyone there was talking about the death of the book. 2013, ebooks, Kindle, you know, it was taking off, right? All of the, you know, the K-books and all of these new devices coming out, right? And a lot of the conversations, and there was a big seminar. Neil Gaiman was there. I forgot Neil Gaiman was there as well. He's a great guy, and he was talking about some, you know, like stuff he was doing with the ebook in how you could start to hear sounds, and you know, if you describe a location, as you hit a button and you will hear you will almost hear the sound of smoke, which is really weird to describe, like, you know, fog and whatever. And and a lot of people were talking about the death of the book because of ebooks. Paperbacks and hardbacks are doing better than ever, right? So what is currently in existence does not completely... Do you know what, Mark? What I found there was he was okay. I have heard he is a bit short, he's a bit abrupt, but you know what? I kind of get that, because I can be quite abrupt and short when I used to work with people who weren't pulling their weight, or they weren't working hard, or they weren't productive, or they were basically taking the piss, and they were spending 1 hour in the kitchen to make tea. You're you're like going, the kitchen is 5 meters away from the office. How come it takes you 1 hour to make tea? Like, ugh. But so I think that, like, don't give up hope until you know no one's gonna look at what you're doing or how you do it. Robert says, what framework do you plan on using with V4? I don't know. I'll probably still use the same framework CSS as I currently do. I don't use ACSS. I do my own custom CSS solution. I don't like to rely, if I'm really honest, and I don't mean to offend anyone, I don't want to use ACSS. I don't want to use Advanced Theme. I don't want to use core frameworks. I always feel like I want to have complete control. It's bad enough that you're using WordPress. It's bad enough that you're using Elementor. It's bad enough that you might use another third-party plugin. There comes a point where I just want to control my frameworks. And I only need a framework for typography and maybe some other styling for some other bits. I don't need a framework with like 100 settings. I know you don't have to use all of them. But sometimes you go, oh, what about that? Do I need to do that? Do I need to do this? And I prefer to know. I'll only put in what I need to put in. Well done, Beatrice, on how to set up a VPS server from scratch. Well done. Peter, I'm totally into AI. I just don't want to end up in a situation where people will not know how to make a sandwich as their phone battery died. I just hope, oh, well, you know what? You know what? I know a lot of people. I know people, not me, but I know people. Like they're going, oh, I want to make like lasagna, and then they pop their phone up and they're like following the video, and then the video might have missed a step because it's like a short, and then I'm going and I'm watching them. I'm going, you're doing it wrong. They go, no, 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 no. It said do this. I go, no, no, no. They missed. They showed you like one layer of cheese, and now they've jumped to the top. They've missed. They didn't show you that it's like, you know, like the bottom layer, the meat, the cheese, maybe another layer, and then the meat or whatever. They didn't show you that. So you're just doing a very thin lasagna kind of thing. And they're like, Mark Kindle thing. The bigger point here is that people should bloody read, not what they read on. Absolutely, Mark. I like that. That's probably the quote of the day. You know, doesn't matter what device you're using, just read. Books will never go away, are too much of an established home. Oh, absolutely. You know, even if you don't read, just go and get some books from, you know, like a charity store, and just stick them on your shelf. Always looks really good when you have someone around. Right, I've been live for 1 hour 6. I'm going to jump off now. My son, obviously, you saw him earlier, came in. I don't think I even acknowledged him that much. I was like, yeah, hi, yeah, and I carried on talking. So go check he's all right and whatnot. See if he wants me to get McDonald's for tonight. Yummy, yummy, yummy. My wife's going to go ballistic at me. She goes, what are you buying McDonald's for? We got food. But I'll see what he wants to do. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. Hopefully me and Mark Harris can arrange a really good, in-depth, effing and blinding chat about... Oh, I said hello, mate. Well, that was something, wasn't it? Hello, mate. About singularity of AI and robots and what we will get our robot to do. Like, go get my Pepsi Max. And then I'll be like, no, go back. Get me a cold one. Right. Okay, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.